It's another week and it's a day late, but hey, don't worry because Fabrizio Romano is here to talk as the transfer window winds down. Dušan Vlahović to Juventus. How about PSG? What are they doing as they wrap up this window? And Anthony Martial leaving Manchester United to Sevilla as they look to get that title of Real Madrid. We have Julian Alvarez and so much more. Fabrizio Romano, transfer window winding down. Qué Golazo begins right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Qué Golazo. Thank you so much for being part of the family. Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter. We're on youtube.com/Qué Golazo. Thank you so much. We've passed 8,000 subscribers, Fabrizio Romano. How good is that?
Hello, my friend. It's great. Super happy. Thank you as always and ready for this. Final week is going to be mad. It's already mad with many news. So I'm super curious to see what's next.
Absolutely. And there is no better human being in the planet to talk about this, of course. And by the way, this is a World Cup qualifying window, so we got a little Fabrizio Romano, but we got a bunch of USMNT content with Jimmy and Heath throughout the week. So it's a little light from me and Fab, but we'll be coming back next week as well as we wrap up that window. But Fab, let's get going here. There's a lot, as you mentioned, news coming in from everywhere. Let's begin. Actually, good point, Des Norris. What's the reaction in Italy to Balotelli being called back to the Italian national team, my friend?
It's 50-50. Balotelli is always dividing people. People are never happy or hating Balotelli. It's always the same with Mario. Yeah, since he's 18, it's the same story. Since he was 18, it's the same story. It's always been like this. So there are people happy with Mario back because you know that Mario is a player that is able to change a single game in 5 seconds if he wants. Correct. But at the same point, someone is saying, and could be also a good point, that if you need to call Mario Balotelli from Turkish league to qualify to the World Cup means that you have a big problem with strikers. So this is why, you know, there are different reactions. But I think that into the team, a player like Balotelli in this kind of moments when you have key games ahead for the World Cup is always needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes a different kind of rebellious spark can just ignite the entire squad. Yes. And this could be Mario Balotelli. So fantastic stuff. I wish him all the best. I've always liked him. And to your point, why always me, Fabrizio Romano? Why always me? All right. Well, listen, let's stay in Italy. Let's talk about the transfer window. Wow. I mean, we've been talking about your boy Dušan Vlahović for a while here on Qué Golazo. Arsenal was creeping in, showing some interest. But in the end, it seems that he's staying in Italy. Juventus, talk to me about this because, you know, there's so much going on, including the Fiorentina-Juventus rivalry, you know, and everything. So talk to me about the latest with Dušan Vlahović.
Yes, we can say that Juventus and Fiorentina have reached an agreement for Dušan Vlahović. So between clubs is everything ready, everything agreed. 75 million euros paid in installments. So everything has been agreed between the two clubs. Fiorentina fans are furious, let me say. This is a key point also because after Bernardeschi and Federico Chiesa, and in the past also Roberto Baggio, another Fiorentina star is going to join Juventus. It's mad, but it's always happening like this. Now what is needed is the agreement between Dušan Vlahović and Juventus. But let me say that Vlahović was not answering, as we said many times, to Arsenal proposals, was saying for Atletico Madrid last summer. Now, with Juventus, he's talking with Juventus and his agents are talking with Juventus. This is why Juventus are feeling confident to complete soon this deal on some player side after reaching an agreement with Fiorentina. So it's final stages, we can see, for Dušan Vlahović to Juventus. It's a matter of details and everything will be completed and it's an incredible signing. And let me remind that Vlahović will join immediately in January. So it's not for the summer. He's going to join Juventus immediately.
This just, I mean, to me, this catapults not only their title hopes, Champions League hopes in Serie A, but also their current, you know, fixtures coming up as well, Villarreal. I mean, this is a massive move and 75 million in stages. Fabrizio, seems like, yes. I mean, I don't want to say a bargain because 75 million euros is a lot of money, but for what you're getting, it's a pretty good deal from Juventus' side, no?
Yes, I agree with you. He's the striker for the future. He's a player you can trust for many years. He's also something fresh into the team. They needed something. Juventus this year are struggling. They're not even in the top 4 in Serie A. Also, they have a good chance in Champions League because they're playing Villarreal. So it's not impossible to beat Villarreal for Juventus. So is also the chance for the player to play Champions League football immediately. And so I'm sure that it's going to be a good deal for all parties involved. To be honest, I was curious to see Dušan Vlahović in Premier League because Arsenal was a good chance. Also, Tottenham were interested for summer, but he wanted to stay in Italy. Juventus are always super attracting, also if they are not top of the table as they were for 9 years. And so he's going to have a contract for 7 million euros net per season. This is going to be his salary. So it's a huge one also for the player, for his agents. So everyone is going to be happy. But let's wait for the final stages to be completed. But it's really, really close.
Wow, unbelievable. So who have Fiorentina targeted as a replacement then, Fabrizio? Because obviously there's a massive space to fill.
Is Brazilian striker we already mentioned in October for Barcelona. Barcelona had him in the list, and this Artur Cabral from Basel. He's doing great in Switzerland. He's really interesting striker, Brazilian, scoring a lot of goals. If I'm not wrong, he's 27 goals this season. So this boy is very good, and Fiorentina already submitted an official proposal for 14 million euros plus 2 million euros bonuses. So they're offering around 16. Basel 120, but the negotiation is going through. So they have this player ready in their hands. Is Artur Cabral once everything will be completed for Vlahovic. So they are ready to sign a new striker, and they already signed Piontek. But as we said, he was not a replacement for Vlahovic. He was a backup option. But now they want to go for Artur Cabral.
Okay, so before we move on, though, there is a domino effect then from Juventus' side, right? Because if Dušan comes in, that presumably means that there's some exits coming out. What does this mean for Alvaro Morata, where there's been rumors, of course, of him returning to Spain with that one? Because surely he's on the out.
Yes, on Juventus side, now it's time to see what happens with Morata. For sure, this domino is a possibility. I say possibility, I'm not sure, because first point is about financial situation of Barcelona. To sign new players, they need to sell some player or to offload some player. So this is why for Morata, we have to see if they will be able to do it or not. The player wants to go to Barcelona, I'm sure. I'm also sure that Xavi is pushing since December to have Alvaro Morata. So Xavi would be super happy to have him. But at the moment is something that is still needed to be completed also between clubs, because he's not owned by Juventus but by Atletico Madrid. And so they need to open talks with Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and to find a way to register him into La Liga rules. So this is why it's still something to be watching in the coming days and not completed yet. But I'm sure that this Morata deal could be a possibility for the coming days after Dušan Vlahović deal.
Well, there's another one as well. The most popular girl in high school in this transfer window, Aston Villa, who's had a tremendous window. Apparently, Rodrigo Bentancur, I'm hearing that maybe that's a possibility.
Yes, it's a possibility, because Juventus will decide soon what they want to do with midfielders. So with Artur, with Bentancur, but it's true that Aston Villa are pushing for Rodrigo Bentancur. They made a proposal now. So let's see what Juventus will decide. Of course, they are busy with Vlahović deal, but soon they will make a decision also on Bentancur or Artur. I think they're not selling both players, but just one of them. So it's going to be time to decide. And let me say that for Juventus, the potential replacement, if one of these two players will leave the club, is Nathan Nandes, another Uruguayan player. So it could be Bentancur to Aston Villa and Nathan Nandes to Juventus. Cagliari midfielder, very good player, former Boca Juniors player. They're thinking of him as potential replacement in case one of these two players will leave the club.
All right, well, we have you working hard here this morning, Fab, because what's the domino effect on Arsenal now that they're missing out on Vlahović? I hear other striker targets as well.
Yes, we can mention Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad. We can mention Jonathan David from Lille. They have many names in the list. The real point is that these players are not available for January window. So they need to do something crazy to change the situation as Juventus did for Vlahović, because for Vlahović, they're spending 75 million. It's a crazy bid in January. And so they need to do something like this on Arsenal side, or it's going to be complicated. So, or they have to wait for summer, because they will 100% sign a top striker in 2022. If it's not going to be in the next few days, it's going to be in the summer. But let's see. Also, Luka Jovic has been offered as a possibility on loan, but at the moment is not something advanced between clubs yet, and also on player side. So they will make a decision soon, but for sure Arsenal will try to find a striker, and they will try to find a midfielder. We said about Artur, they offered a 6-month loan. Juventus want an 18-month loan, so it's still discussed between clubs. I will keep an eye also on Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa. Luiz, you know that he's a player that has a lot of clubs following him, and Arsenal are following him. Bruno Guimaraes is another place they have in the list, but 40 million is too much. 45 million is too much for Arsenal in January. This is why they will need to make a decision: midfielder and striker for January window.
Yeah, it's massive. All right, well, we've talked a lot about Juventus. There's a little link here because Mauro Icardi had been linked to Juve, but now I presume Paris Saint-Germain are sticking with the forward, what's the latest there? And specifically on PSG as well here, because Ndombele and Dele Alli have been linked to Paris as well. There's the Pochettino connection, of course. So what's the latest overall on PSG?
Yes, talking about Icardi, he was linked to Juventus, but was never close. Also because Paris Saint-Germain asked for Moise Kean from Juventus as part of the deal in December, and Juventus said no. Also because for the rules, he's not allowed to play for a third club this season after Everton and Juventus, so it was not possible, this deal, and this is why Mauro Icardi was not even a target at the end for Juventus. We can say that he has huge chances, I think, to stay at Paris Saint-Germain, also because I'm told that the player is not intention to leave PSG in January. Let's say in the summer, but on player plans, there is not to leave the club in January. Talking about PSG, yes, they're looking for a midfielder, and yes, Tanguy Ndombele is a serious possibility. They're negotiating with Tottenham for a loan deal. Paris Saint-Germain want to include a buy option. Tottenham want the whole salary paid till the end of the season, so they're negotiating on this kind of details, but there are good chances for this deal to go through with Ndombele joining Paris Saint-Germain. Let's see what happens in the coming hours, but they're working on it. And if Ndombele joins Paris Saint-Germain, Tottenham will be ready to go for Sofiane Amrabat, Moroccan midfielder from Fiorentina. He's a player that Antonio Conte already wanted at Inter, and so could be a good possibility for Tottenham on loan with buy option from Fiorentina.
Gini Wijnaldum staying?
I think yes. Gini Wijnaldum wants to stay till the end of the season and then see what happens. So at the moment, yes. Then if some crazy proposal will arrive, we will see. But I'm told that he's not involved in any talk with Paris Saint-Germain and Tottenham. So I don't see him joining Spurs. Let's see if some other club will jump into it. But at the moment, the expectation is for the player to stay till the end of the season.
All right, let's keep going here because Sevilla, Monchi has been doing some business. They are looking very good in the table. And I'm telling you what, it's becoming more of a reality that Sevilla could reach to the points of Real Madrid and even hopefully go to number one from their point of view. So let's talk about that. Anthony Martial, of course, not happy at Manchester United. This seems, like a very good move on all sides, to be honest. What's the latest?
Yeah, seems a really interesting and good one. I agree with you 100%. It's a super deal for Sevilla, for the director Monchi, who is always going with these bargains. Is incredible. The deal has been completed yesterday night, so there is a full agreement between Manchester United and Sevilla. It's a straight loan, so there is no buy option included. It's 6-month loan till the end of the season. Martial will join Sevilla. They will pay around 7 million euros, talking about loan fee and salary coverage. So this is good. This is what Man United are going to receive from Sevilla. The player has accepted as he wanted to move on after 7 years at Man United. Now he wanted to be a star. He wanted to feel as an important player. And this is why he's going to join Sevilla. The player is coming in this minutes while we're talking. He's arriving in Sevilla together with his agent. He's going to have his medical, sign his contract. And so we can consider Anthony Martial as new Sevilla signing.
So what's the latest continuing with the Red Devils here? Because Jesse Lingard, of course, out of contention. What's going on with him?
Yes, with just Lingard, the possibilities linked to Newcastle. They're pushing since last week. They want him at all costs. His Eddie Howe wants him because he thinks that he will be perfect signing for Newcastle for the coming months. The point is about finding the agreement with the player on a loan move, because he doesn't want to move on a permanent. He wants to wait for the summer before deciding which will be the best club to join for his future. This is why he's taking some time now. But Newcastle are pushing. So I still think that this deal is possible to be completed in the coming days. And I'm sure that Newcastle will try again in the coming hours, because they want just Lingard and they're prepared to offer a loan fee around 4 or 5 million pounds for Lingard to Manchester United.
Okay, let's wrap up Manchester United all in one here, because Crystal Palace, Valencia are inquiring about Van de Beek for a loan. Which USMNT fans, if he goes to Valencia, it wouldn't be great for Yunus Musa, I guess. I'm not sure. But does Man United have, and Ranić, do they have any more plans as well as they close out January transfer window?
Yes, for Van de Beek is a serious possibility. Crystal Palace, Valencia, both interested. So they don't want to allow any buy option in the Van de Beek deal, because maybe another manager wants to give him a chance with Man United. Right. And we know that they're going to have a new manager in the summer. So this is why they're not including buy options for Martial and for Van de Beek. It's important to clarify. Then other things, Amad Diallo could go on loan in the final days for Man United. And for new signings, it depends on midfielders. But I don't see Man United really pushing for any signing. Kamara from Marseille is a player they appreciate, Haidara from Leipzig, but they are not putting in any bid. So at the moment, it's still quiet. If they will go for a player, it will be for a central midfielder, but at the moment, it's still quiet, and the expectation is that they prefer to wait for summer to go for big signings, because this is the plan for Man United, to wait for the new manager and decide together who are the players they want to sign.
Well, I told you that we're going to have here Fab Romano on overtime, so we're going to keep on going. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Julian Alvarez as well, and his futures Man City close in, and as well as an American star possibly interested by a Premier League club, and the return, a hopeful return of Christian Eriksen to London as well. Fabrizio Romano is with me, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Fabrizio Romano, LME here on Tuesday. Qué Golazo as well. So before all the qualifiers kick off, we have some great content. So, Fab, let's just keep rolling here. Julian Alvarez, obviously everybody should know about him by now. If you're involved in the football world, he will be representing Argentina in World Cup qualifiers. He is an absolute star. River Plate. We've talked a lot about how some clubs, including my Villa, possibly missed out this past summer, but it seems Man City have a good step in here.
Yes, it's really, really close. We can say that we are at the same stages with Vlahovic and Juventus. So we're talking about really final stages in the negotiations. The proposal from Man City is around 18.5 million euros. They are now discussing about details, terms of payment. River Plate want to keep the player till the end of the season, or maybe till the World Cup. This is River Plate dream to keep the player on loan. So they're discussing between the two boards to decide what is the best solution. Man City are also thinking to loan the player out in any European club. So it's still not deciding what will be the next step for him, but River Plate are really pushing to keep the player for 6 months. And this is why in the coming hours, everything will be resolved. But Julian Alvarez will be Man City player for the future. So he's not joining the club in January, but they want him for the future. They are convinced that he will be one of the biggest of European football too in the coming years. And so they are prepared to complete this negotiation this week.
My God, man. Man City fans, this kid is the truth, and he will be something very special. So we have to keep an eye on that. All right, well, listen, Brendan Aaronson, such a good player for the USMNT, and apparently Leeds United, Marcelo Bielsa, they're intrigued, and Salzburg reportedly rejected the first bid for the American player. What's the latest there?
Yes, it's true. It's true. Salzburg refused this proposal from Leeds. They want him. They are obsessed with him. They want to sign him. But Aaronson is an important player. And so they feel that he would be perfect for Leeds immediately. But the point is that Salzburg prefer to wait. They have European football. They want to keep him till the end of the season and maybe sell him in the summer. This is why the situation is still not easy between clubs. The player would be open to this move. But on club side, on Leeds side, and Salzburg side, at the moment, nothing is agreed yet because they hope to keep the player till the end of the season. So we will see what happens in the coming days. We know that at the end of the transfer window, everything can happen. But at the moment, it's not an easy one for Leeds.
Okay, so let's finish on a really high note, as I believe Christian Eriksen's return to the Premier League is getting closer. What's the latest with him and Brentford?
Yes, he's really close also at this point for Christian Eriksen to Brentford. They have, with his agent Martin Schotz, an agreement on verbal basis, so everything is ready for a 6-month deal with an option to extend for season 2022-2023, so they have everything in place with the player. Is now about, of course, medical tests. We know how important is this process in general, and in particular in the case of Christian Eriksen after what happened last summer, so they want to make sure that everything is safe, everything is correct also on regular side to have Christian Eriksen at club. But Eriksen is prepared to say yes, he wants to play football again, as we mentioned many times here. He's prepared to do his comeback to the Premier League. And so let's wait a bit for this medical test, and then we can say, here we go for Christian Eriksen to Brentford.
The idea of that entire stadium singing Hey Jude as Christian Eriksen finished, absolutely amazing. Listen, everybody, it's a free episode on YouTube podcast. You can't complain. We bring the very best with Fabrizio Romano. Before we say goodbye, Fab, any other business that you're keeping your eye on?
Robin Gosens, German fullback from Atalanta. Inter are pushing to sign him immediately.
Very good player.
He's injured. Very good player. One of the best left backs in Serie A, together with Teo Hernandez in the last 5 or 6 years. He did incredible with Atalanta. Inter want him on loan with obligation to buy. So negotiation ongoing with Atalanta. Also Newcastle wanted him. So let's see what happens between Inter and Newcastle. But Inter are really pushing in the last few hours. I'm told that the player will be keen on the move. And so this could be another big one in Serie A.
Absolutely fantastic. Fabrizio Romano, thank you so much for being part of the show. Make sure that you follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Fabrizio Romano. All his content, of course, on CBS Sports as well. He will be returning in case of any emergency episodes. And, of course, as we wrap up January transfer windows. And we got so much to look ahead to. Good luck with the Italian national team there, Fabrizio. Your own Italian Peruvian will be hopefully helping us over here in Peru, but it's a very important week and a half for both of us.
Thank you. It's super important, absolutely. And we are preparing for this World Cup qualifier. So let's see what's next. And thank you, really, as always. And see you soon with all the updates we will have in the coming days and maybe hours.
I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your week. And we will see you next time. Till then.